Now, global supply chains have recently faced considerable disruption, primarily from tariffs and geopolitical shifts, whilst also juggling the promise and challenge of digitalisation.
While tariffs may have been dominating headlines, corporate leaders have been adopting strategies to help navigate these changes and power resilience.
And I'm delighted to say Sofia Hammoucha, Head of Trade and Working Capital at Standard Chartered, joins us now to look at this in a little bit more detail. Hello, Sofia. Welcome to Sibos TV.
Thank you.
You enjoying your time in Frankfurt so much
It's been
so
very
far?
busy, but the energy is amazing.
Superb. Well, let's keep it up, shall we? First question for you. Standard Chartered launched its latest Future of Trade report last week. The report focuses on resilience. So can you tell us, what does the report say the future of trade is, and how resilient is global trade?
So we have surveyed 1,200 corporates across 17 markets and 4 sectors. And what they told us is that the future of trade is positive, despite all the complexities. Resilience is at the center, both from a geography perspective or a supply chain finance perspective. But what has changed really for them is they are now more offensive in a way to manage resilience rather than on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm. Now, tariffs have dominated conversations for a good part of this year. I mean, it's been hard to ignore that. So building resilience in the face of tariffs, is that what everyone seems to be focusing on right now?
So you will be surprised that it's not the case. Tariff is obviously in the top 3 of the topics that are on top of their mind, but things like emerging growth, emerging technologies, AI, and the growth of trade is really on top of mind of the corporates.
Now, the pandemic was just a few years ago. We remember it well here because we were speaking to you all through screens instead of in person. Now, it was, of course, a major driver in geographic supply chain diversification. So is geographical diversification still the leading strategy for resilience?
It's one of them, for sure, but not the only one. Supply chain resilience is also in terms of strategies and how do you plan for it, but also in terms of digitalization and how do you use digital capabilities to diversify your supply chain and build resilience into the ecosystem.
And where are the trade corridors or markets that we should be watching out for? Where are the corporates focusing on when it comes to trade?
Well, Asia remains important, and the Middle East is rising. So you'll see corridors between Asia and the Middle East. The key countries that we've seen really emerge are India, Indonesia, Malaysia, the UAEs, and obviously the US and China remain keynotes into the ecosystem overall.
We can't let you go without talking about technology, which seems to be a hot topic here at Sibos every year. So talk about what role technology is playing in trade at the moment. What trends are you seeing?
Well, we're seeing corporates, and I think 55 or 57% of them are telling us that they're going to adopt supply chain finance platforms. Over 40% already have supply chain finance platforms. So the conversation is really about how are we going to digitize even more our supply chain overall and adopt the platforms that are available to them. Yes.
Now, just a year or 2 ago, Standard Chartered actually published a paper about the tokenization of trade assets. And since then, we've seen huge interest and growth in digital assets. So the question to you is, has DA actually broken into trade yet? How and what do you see coming next?
Well, the key topic around digital assets is really now and accelerating is around payment and settlements. So that is definitely an extension to what trade finance is and how we're going to start settling our transactions from a trade finance perspective using digital tokens or stable coins, and the digital asset topic is very important. But not only from a tokenization perspective, we are tokenizing trade assets from a distribution angle as well, and that's a topic that is continuing. Looking forward, many use cases will absolutely be impacting the trade finance world.
Yeah, of course, lots of developments on the horizon there. Thank you so much for breaking that down. All these hot topics over here at Sibos. Thank you so much, Sofia. That was Sofia Hammoucha, Head of Trade and Working Capital over at Standard Chartered.